So I'm going to start this out with a confession. When I started this channel, I was actively looking for statistical proof of what I was seeing on the court. When I concluded that Kobe was, I didn't believe he was the GOAT at the time, but I certainly did believe he was one of the 3 or 4 greatest players in NBA history. And I felt like he was underrated. Even as I had him at number 4, I felt like he was underrated. And I was looking for statistical proof to bear that out. So, with that said, I sought and I found. I found evidence that supported my belief that he was in fact one of the greatest players ever. But as I explained in a prior video, from the evidence that I discovered, I came to believe that he was actually the greatest component to a championship team in NBA history. And so in this video, I would like to explain my criteria, okay? Pretty much everybody's top 10 is pretty similar. You know, there are 8 or 9, 10 players that are in just about everybody's top 10. Mine diverge a little bit from that. But I want to spend most of the time of this video kind of going through my thought process and explaining how I came to these conclusions. So right off the top, I'm just going to go through my top 10, okay? And starting from 10, I have Bill Russell. At 9, I have Wilt Chamberlain. At 8, I have John Havlicek. At 7, I have LeBron James. At 6, I have David Robinson. At 5, I have Tim Duncan. At 4, I have Hakeem Olajuwon. At number 3, I have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. At number 2, I have Michael Jordan. And at number 1, I have Kobe Bryant. Okay. Everybody's got a top 10. You know, I didn't want to do this video kind of as a, you know, exploring each player's career, and we all know what these players' accomplishments are. That's not very interesting. What I do want to do is I want to explain my criteria and how I came to these conclusions. Also understanding that I'm sure a lot of people are skeptical, because a lot of you are thinking right now, okay, well, he started with a conclusion and then he found the conclusion that he wanted. Well, yes, I did. Okay. But I'm going to lay out my logic and give you the opportunity to challenge that logic in the comment section. Okay. So, at the start of this inquiry, I started with sort of a cutoff. Okay. And I noticed that there are certain historical accomplishments above which we have players that kind of feel like they are the greatest players in NBA history, and below which you have players that are certainly great players but are just kind of a notch below that. Okay. So I call this my GOAT room. If you look at the players in NBA history that have 10 all NBA selections, okay, and 2 championships, you have in order, counting down, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Durant, Hakeem Olajuwon, Bob Cousy, Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, John Havlicek, Bill Russell, David Robinson, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Wilt Chamberlain. So here's my question. Is there anyone that I didn't mention that has a feasible case to be the greatest player of all time? Let's mention some of the names. We've got, I didn't mention Karl Malone, Dirk Nowitzki, Jerry West, Dolph Schayes, Chris Paul, John Stockton, Charles Barkley, Oscar Robertson. Do any of those people have a reasonable, I've heard people say Steph Curry is the greatest player of all time. And in the 80s, I used to hear Magic Johnson be in the conversation of the greatest player of all time. I heard Larry Bird. To this day, when I ran my poll, I had people that said Larry Bird's greatest player of all time. Every name that I named that had at least 2 chips and 10 All-NBA selections, seems like you can make a case. Even Kevin Durant, generally considered to be the greatest, or you could make a case as the most unstoppable scorer. I don't agree with that, but you could make that case. Okay? So 10 All-NBA selections, 2 chips. Okay? So that's kind of how you get into the room, if you will. I kind of see basketball as a series of tiers. There's you have players that make an NBA roster. You have rotation players. You have starters. You have all-stars. You have Hall of Famers. You have top 75 players. And then you have these players that are among the top 10, 12-ish players in NBA history. Players that were once, considered the best player in the league, at least for a season or so. It feels like those players are in the room. And that's why I always say to, Bron fans, when they bring up this Robert Horry argument, I say, well, it's a GOAT debate. It assumes that you are already great. Okay? So these are the players that, in my mind, have a feasible case to be, if not the GOAT, but among the greatest players in NBA history. Okay? So, obviously that's not enough. How do you rank those players? So once I establish these players, what I'm most interested in is the one thing that any great player can do, irrespective of his circumstances. Because see, the thing is, NBA players cannot control a lot of what they have to deal with. NBA players cannot control the team they're drafted to, sometimes even the team they're traded to. They can't control their coach. They can't control how much help they have. They can't control for injuries to themselves and others. They can't control a lot, but what they can do is they can be elite on both sides of the ball. Okay? And moreover, I find that, and this is statistically provable, that when players are elite on both sides of the ball, championships tend to follow those players. I calculated it at something like a player that is top 10 in scoring and all defense during the same season gives his team about a 32% chance of about a 32% chance to win the NBA championship. And so it is my contention that the most important factor that should go to determining a player's greatness is the number of seasons that player has been both all defense and top 10. Okay. Now I will explain something here. Obviously, the all defense team started in 1969. So what I did before that, for the years before that, was I took basically win shares. Okay. So if a player was in the top 10 in win shares, defensive win shares rather, then I took that as an all defense season. So Bill Russell was, I believe, number one in real defensive win shares just about every season of his career. I think Wilt did it. He was number one a couple times, but so with that, I was able to essentially impute all defense seasons for John Havlicek, Wilt Chamberlain, and then Jerry West, even though he's not, he doesn't make this cut, but Jerry West, et cetera, So I went through and I counted those seasons, and so just going down the list, the player with the most seasons being elite on both sides of the ball is Kobe Bryant with 11. Now that's followed by Kareem with 10. Michael Jordan has 9. Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson has 8. John Havlicek has 8. Wilt Chamberlain has 8. Hakeem Olajuwon has 6. LeBron James has 6. And Tim Duncan has 5. Bill Russell does not have any. Okay. Obviously, there are some great players that were never elite on both sides of the ball. Bill Russell being one of them, Magic Johnson. But let's say Larry Bird, I believe, had 3 such seasons. And there's some other notables there. Steph Curry, elite offensively, obviously, never all defense. Kevin Durant, but 40% of my weighting, if you will, went to being elite on both sides of the ball. So if you were all defense, and if you were all NBA and you have at least 2 chips, and you've got a significant number of seasons being elite on both sides of the ball, you're pretty much in my top 10. Okay. So the third leg of this criteria comes down to what I call championship efficiency. Okay. And what that is basically, when you did get talent, did you win? Okay. Obviously, no player can control every circumstance or whether they have talent, but when you did have talent, did you win? And there are some players on this list that pretty much won as soon as they got talent and whenever they had talent. That has to rank extremely high, okay, versus players that had talent for many, many years and didn't win, okay? So, what I did was I looked at each player's career and went through their career and identified teammates that were either Hall of Famers or obviously future Hall of Famers. Okay, and I looked at the seasons wherein those teammates made the All-Star team. Okay, certainly I don't want to count as quote help an aging veteran, Hall of Famer. I don't want to count that. That doesn't, that's not really. But I mean, historically, what teams need to win the NBA championship is 2 Hall of Famers in their prime. Well, how do you know they're in their prime? We don't know if they're at their peak by making the All-Star team, but they are in their prime if they make the All-Star team. Okay, so let's give an example just because it's fresh in my mind. Let's take Kobe Bryant. Okay, Kobe Bryant had 3 Hall of Fame teammates in his career. Okay, Shaquille O'Neal, obviously, Pau Gasol, and Dwight Howard. Okay, Shaquille O'Neal made 8 All-Star teams as Kobe's teammate. Pau Gasol made 3, and Dwight Howard made 1. Actually, Kobe didn't really get to go to the playoffs with Dwight Howard, but I counted it anyway. Okay, so Kobe has 12 prime Hall of Fame seasons. Okay, so 12 Hall of Fame teammate seasons, if you will. Okay, what did he do with that? Well, he won 5 championships. So I just do the math and divide the championships into the Hall of Fame seasons. Okay, and you get a number that is 417. Okay, so just going down the list, the very best number on this list is Michael Jordan, 0.857, followed by Kobe, 0.417. Kareem, Hakeem Olajuwon, both at 0.333. Tim Duncan at 0.3537. David Robinson, 0.333. LeBron James is at 0.250, 25%. John Havlicek is 26%. Wilt Chamberlain is 27%. And Bill Russell is 0.39%, like just about 40%. Okay. So what I did was I gave that about a 30% weight. So those the three criteria to synopsize: championship proficiency 30%, elite two-way seasons is at gave that 40%, and all NBA seasons 30%. Okay, and I just had an AI, ChatGTP, basically compute the results. And the results came out with Kobe at, like I said, Kobe at number 1, MJ at number 2, and et cetera, as I said earlier. Um, a couple things I want to talk about. So you may say, well, why do you have Kobe over MJ when MJ's championship efficiency is literally twice as high as Kobe's? Well, again, the elite two-way seasons. Okay, and the thing is, MJ obviously would have been all defense, and led the league in scoring had he not retired, But I have to go with what the player did. So that's 11-9, and also Kobe has 15 All NBA seasons to MJ's 11. So it squeezed Kobe out, slightly over MJ, and the interesting thing is, I have Bill Russell at number 10, even though Bill Russell has 0 All NBA seasons. There are only 9 players, these 9 players that have, I believe it's at least 5 elite All NBA seasons. And below that, you start getting into players like Anthony Davis. And I just couldn't wrap my mind around ranking Anthony Davis ahead of Bill Russell. So it just felt like it felt like I could justify ranking these elite two-way players ahead of Bill Russell. But I couldn't take the formula so far as to sort of defy common sense. Obviously Anthony Davis is not the same type of player Bill Russell is, So, because I think Anthony Davis actually has 4 or 5 seasons where he was top 10 in scoring and top, in all defense. So, when I continue sort of build out the rest of my top 25, you'll find that your Magic Johnsons, your Steph Currys, those players will be, in the latter half of the top 25, because I do believe that it's better to be truly great, even if it's just on one side of the ball, than it is to be, Anthony Davis. So, the genesis behind my idea, my formula, is that I reward players for what they can control, and I don't punish players for what they can't control. And so with that, I came up with this formula, and that is my statistical evidence for why Kobe Bryant is the greatest singular component to a championship team in NBA history.